Introduction. Build approaches for evaluating and addressing potential biases and inequities in analytical models. Welcome to this session focused on understanding and mitigating bias in analytical models. Today, you will learn how to design effective approaches to detect and correct biases, ensuring your models are fair, accurate, and trustworthy. Why addressing bias in models is essential. Bias in models can lead to unfair or inaccurate predictions. It can cause harm, reinforce inequalities, and reduce trust in your analytical solutions. As a data engineer or analyst, it is your responsibility to identify and mitigate these risks. Generative AI and other tools can assist in this critical process. They help you systematically evaluate models and implement corrections where needed. Understanding types of bias and inequity. Bias can come from many sources, including imbalanced data, flawed assumptions, or systemic inequalities in the training set. Common biases include sampling bias, measurement bias, and algorithmic bias. Understanding the source is the first step to effective mitigation. How to evaluate bias in models. Start by defining fairness metrics relevant to your context. Examples include demographic parity, equal opportunity, or disparate impact. Use tools to calculate these metrics across different groups in your data. Generative AI can help generate evaluation reports. For example, you might prompt, "Analyze this model for fairness across age, gender, and ethnicity groups, and report any disparities." Approaches to address bias. Once bias is identified, choose appropriate mitigation strategies. These include resampling data, adjusting weights, or modifying algorithms to be more fair. Pre-processing, in-processing, and post-processing methods can be applied depending on the stage. Gen AI can assist by suggesting suitable bias correction techniques. For example, prompt, "Recommend methods to reduce gender bias in this classification model." Validating fairness improvements. After mitigation, validate that bias has decreased without sacrificing accuracy. Use your fairness metrics and monitor model performance carefully. Compare before and after results to ensure improvements. Real-world example: reducing bias in hiring models. Imagine using an AI model to screen job applicants. If the model shows bias against certain groups, it can unfairly disadvantage candidates. Using bias evaluation and correction approaches, you can identify these issues and adjust the model to promote equity. Reflecting on your work, think about the models you've built or maintained. Have you checked them for bias or fairness? What steps could you take to improve equity in your future projects? Best practices for bias evaluation and mitigation. Define fairness goals clearly based on your context. Use multiple metrics to get a comprehensive view. Combine automated tools with expert judgment. Document your findings and corrections for transparency. Continuously monitor models post-deployment for bias. Tips for writing effective prompts. Be specific about the groups, metrics, and biases you want to analyze. For example, say, "Generate a fairness report highlighting disparities in loan approval rates by race and income level." Clear prompts lead to focused and actionable insights. Conclusion: addressing bias and inequity is vital to building trustworthy analytical models. Generative AI can support you by automating evaluation and recommending corrections. By integrating these approaches, you enhance model fairness, accuracy, and user trust. Thank you for joining this session. Begin applying these bias evaluation and mitigation techniques today to ensure your models serve everyone fairly and effectively.